Hi.
Hi, Dov.
Hello there.
How's it going?
Fine.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
What time is it there in Argentina now?
6 p.m.
Oh, it's not that bad. So let's talk about how this all started. Or let's just talk about being an artist in Argentina. What's that like?
Hard. I think it's the same in many places, in many countries.
Do you think it's harder being an independent artist in Argentina than in other countries?
I don't know because I never live in another country, but here I have it. I know that it's hard, but I know that it's hard also on States. Depends.
I think an artist's life in general is a difficult road. The artist struggle is one that many people don't identify with. So it's hard when you're, living in wherever you're living, and then you say, I'm an artist, and people, they don't know what to think of you. Like, so do you do this full time? Are you making toys full time, or do you have something else that you do to earn money?
And I'm art professor and for little ones,
for kids,
like Samuel.
Nice. So you're teaching art classes.
We are Samuel's fans. And also I study anthropology. I'm very near to finish the career. And pensando en lo que decía recién, si me ayudas.
I'm going to work as a translator sometimes for her.
And no, it's difficult to explain people when you are an artist, but it's more difficult, I think, when you have to explain that you made resin toys. And I think it's more difficult to explain that in Argentina, because always I have to say, okay, this movement start on another country, and here it's está empezando.
Just getting started, yeah.
Claro, it's more difficult, I think.
And they're still okay with you teaching their children.
¿Cómo?
Te preguntas si todavía está bien que sepan que vos hagas juguetes de resina, que igualmente no haya problema con que le enseñes a los chicos.
No, not yet.
They don't know. They actually don't know. It's like a secret identity.
No, but the director of the school, and she's fan from Punk and Pop Toys.
Nice. So
because of the yes.
So why do you think? I mean, we sell toys for artists all over the world, but there's some, I would say, hot spots around the world where where this scene is big. We have a lot of artists in the US, a lot in Canada. There's a bunch in Thailand, and then Argentina. Like, but why Argentina? Yeah. Like, I know one or two artists in Mexico and one in Colombia, one in Peru, but like, there's not like Argentina. There's like dozens of people making resin toys in Argentina. What is it about Argentina that has created this scene?
Yes, I'm agree with you. We have a theory about that. In Argentina has a culture of very tiene como cultura importante de los juguetes.
I think action figures were actually very big here. Not right now and not for the last few years, but during the late 80s and early 90s. You probably know that we have some action figures that were released here that were not released overseas. You have that with G.I. Joe. For example, the Top Toys Star Wars action figures are very much sought after. We have some exclusive Mochu figures like K-Mo-Can, etc. And
My Little Pony.
That's right. And I think that in general, people who are making toys right now are very much inspired by that. If you ask for their ages in general, they're, I think, 30 and up, I think, in general. But our theory is that action figures were quite big here, and that kind of popular culture. So that would be the best explanation we can come up with, but we don't know.
It's a good answer. Oh, so what we didn't do at the top here, if you could both introduce yourselves and just tell us who you are and what we do, so we have that recorded.
¿Qué hago yo?
Sí,
Bueno, I'm an art professor. Also, I work with little ones. And this year I made some workshop for children of toy making for children. Not with resin, but with another.
You have to wear a gas mask.
No. And I love archaeology and anthropology.
So what's going to happen when you get your degree in anthropology? Like, is that going to be your job? Like, are you going to pursue a job in that field?
No, I don't think so. It's a hobby, I think. You never know.
Yeah, but I think we should say that anthropology has been a big part of her life in general, and very much everything she does for Punk and Pop Toys is wouldn't be the same. I mean, if she hadn't studied anthropology thus far. As you know, right? Many of her toys have a social commentary or a social critique or whatever. And I think anthropology is a big part of that.
Of course.
Right, I get it. I mean, an education's an education, but like if you're like, you know, anything that makes you smarter is better. But you're going to get a degree in anthropology, but you're still going to be doing the art. And then what? You're done with anthropology, or are you going to go back to school for other stuff, or you're just art and kids and that's it?
I think this situation happens in Argentina because it's very different from states, because you can make a career during 10 years, like a hobby. It's free, the university, you don't have to pay. So I think maybe it's like a cultural, como no, es una cosa cultural, no sé si me logra explicar.
Que la gente estudia algo importante y después no se dedica a eso.
Sí, bueno.
Well, what she's saying is that it's very common here that people might study some very important career and end up not working in that area. For example, you might encounter an engineer who is actually driving a cab. Not that's a bad thing, but it's kind of weird, you know.
That in fact, it's my second career because I studied art. I have this degree. So,
well, I mean, if you come from a country where education is free, where, you know, education should be free for everybody, right? But in this country, like, people have to really, unfortunately, like, make a decision, like, I'm going to pursue this, you know, career and get a degree, and then potentially, I mean, there are public schools that are cheaper, but really, I don't think by the time you get to graduate school, you know, you go into debt hundreds of thousands of dollars and owe this money for the rest of your life.
Yes, I know.
It is unfortunate that education in this country is like a for-profit endeavor. All right, so let's talk about, you know, being a woman and making action figures.
Okay.
Because there's not a lot of women making action figures. We try to represent as many as we can, not because they're women, but just because, you know, we like diversity and we want, like, all people represented, but it's still not very common because at least traditionally, and it's changing more now, but these Star Wars figures and these action figures were considered a boy's toy. And what's interesting now in the United States, when I was a kid, there was a boys aisle and a girls aisle, you know, with all the blue toys and all the pink toys. And now the major retailers have gone away from that, and all of the toys are just, it just says toys. And it's
yes.
But I'm assuming when I don't know what it was like in Argentina, but you know, growing up here, this was considered a boy's toy. Mm-hmm. And so how did you come to making action figures?
Mm-hmm. Bueno, acá traducime, así, porque es largo.
Okay.
He's going to translate.
Okay.
Because long explanation, I need time.
Okay.
Sí, estoy de acuerdo con que está muy dividido. Cuando yo era chica, me daban, por ejemplo, no me compraban juguetes de varones, pero eso yo me los conseguía robados en el jardín o en algún cumpleaños.
She agrees, because when she was a little one, they would usually buy for her girl toys.
Ponies, Barbies, Playmobil.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Y es una manera de reapropiarse, o sea, hacer juguetes de resina, para mí fue una manera de reapropiarme de esos juguetes que yo no pude tener. No pude tener mi He-Man, no pude tener mi Skeletor.
But she's saying that resin toy making has been a way for her to reunite with those toys she could not have as a kid. I would say there's a very interesting picture of her when she was little. Mm-hmm. She is being held by her grandmother, I think, and she has in her hands a Skeletor and a Prince Adam, I believe. Mm-hmm. And those were not hers. They were from a cousin, I believe.
Yes.
But she wanted those toys, and she had them, you know. But now she's back.
So was it your parents that didn't allow you to have, you know, boys' toys or action figures?
They usually bought for me ponies. I always love ponies.
Sure.
In fact, when I start to make resin toys, I start with My Little Pony, mm-hmm. My Deviant Pony. And then I discovered that I start to watch another artist, and I said, I want to make something with Star Wars, or I never made something with Motu, mm-hmm. But I love He-Man. I love. So I think it's the way to reapropiarse, como de.
Yeah, making it yours.
Yes, mm-hmm. And it's not easy. It wasn't easy to start, to learn. Yo estudié en cultura de manera tradicional.
She has been a sculptor for many years. She's a professional sculptor. She studied sculpture for many years. So,
but traditional, with another materials, big size, cosas grandes. No está bien. No. Okay. He wants to show something of this.
Done from her sculptor years.
But it's not the same to work in a very, very small size and with another new materials. And it wasn't easy to start and know where ¿se entiende lo que digo?
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
So far so good.
Bueno, traducime. Sí. Que no es tan fácil ir a descubrir a dónde tienes que ir a comprar.
Okay. The materials she used to use when she did sculpture are very different from the ones she has to use now for resin toys. So she had to find out, to do a lot of research, and that was a very difficult part of it, and it took a long time for her.
Sí, porque además yo aprendí mucho de cuentas de Estados Unidos y Canadá y acá en Argentina no se consiguen las mismas cosas.
Okay, yeah. She kind of learned a lot from just watching foreign accounts of different toy makers.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
States or Canada.
And the materials that she uses here, or that every toy maker from abroad normally, are not very. First of all, they're not cheap at all here, and they're kind of difficult to come across as well.
Really? So just buying your standard resin or getting a pressure pot and the silicone, all of those are very expensive.
Yes, it's expensive
and difficult to come by, and to find the right people. I mean, I have been an observer of all the process, and I know what she's talking about because it took her years.
Maybe I watched a video or some Instagram account of some toy maker, and I want this resin or I don't have it in Argentina. So I had to find a way to make it possible. But it's very funny.
Maybe you should get into the resin importing business.
Maybe some people.
Some people are doing.
Yeah, but you never know in this country. You know, you might be importing something from abroad, and customs could easily retain it and charge you a lot of money for it. It would be the same. It's cheaper just to get it from people who already imports it, you know.
La aduana, ¿cómo se dice?
Customs.
Claro, la aduana es tremenda.
Yeah.
Every time when I send you a box, then I start to pray.
Yeah, I sent a box recently to Kalaka Toys, and I sent it DHL, you know, 2-day air, and then he said put the invoice in the box. He told me exactly what to do, and then customs took it, and then I called, and he said they won't give it to me. They said they're going to destroy it. And there was an original sculpture in there from Mishka, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" And then I had to request for it to come back. So we called DHL, we filled out the forms, and said, "Please," we said, "We sent it on mistake. You have to return it." And then Argentina Customs just said no, and then it just goes bye-bye. It's like, oh no,
that's
terrible.
What might have happened because it was an original piece of art. And they have like lots of issues concerning that. You have to fill out lots of forms, and I don't know, it's a mess.
Yeah,
what's
funny? Yeah, go on.
No. When people ask me cuando alguien me pregunta cómo enviar cosas, tengo que dar un montón de indicaciones como tené cuidado, no digas esto, tené por favor que no.
When people ask, for example, from here, ask her how to ship something from abroad, she has to make eternal explanations and don't do this, don't do that, don't say this, the usual thing.
That's frustrating.
Yes, it is.
What's funny about the resin too is that the artists here, like, I mean, resin is moderately priced, but Raika, he makes his stuff, you know, in the UK, he gets the stuff in England even cheaper. He buys it in big, like 40-gallon drums, and it's like a quarter of the price it is in this country. So I don't know.
Well, depends. Usually, a lot of people go to Uruguay. We have Uruguay here because everybody thinks that Uruguay is more
liberal concerning some things.
But with this genre, with resin, it's not a solution. Uruguay either. So
it's frustrating. So what was your first, so you were into art as a kid? You were doing art and you decided like you wanted to be an artist, you wanted to go to art school, you're teaching art classes for kids. do you remember the moment when you realized that a toy, like making toys, would be your medium, like how you would express yourself in art?
Sí, yes. I've been illustrator many years. Bueno, acá traduciendo así hacemos más rápido.
Okay.
Es una anécdota que incluye a Matías de Bomber Mad Toys, porque él me... Sí, sí.
It was like this. I know the story. Yes, Matías Bomber from Bomber Mad Toys, who I think is out there right now. You're going to be interviewing him afterwards. He
me preguntó para intercambiar de mis dibujos.
Yeah, he asked her and in exchange he offered a toy from his own making. That's when she found out for the first time.
The first time I saw a resin toy.
Yeah, that's her first contact with this camera.
Sí. Además, bueno, ahí te pregunté y como que no lo tenía relacionado con el coleccionismo.
Right, that's when she asked me about it, because I am a toy collector for many years, and I know about the action figures in general, and I explained to her, yes, this is a thing that exists. It's being done for some years, but I actually did not know that it was something here. I too was surprised to find out that there were people here doing this. I thought it was something more like a niche thing from abroad. It was a surprise to me as well.
Y entonces después vi dos personas que empezaron a aprender y lo hicieron en pocos meses y dije, yo quiero hacer esto.
And then she saw that there were more people, apart from...
Two people more.
Yeah, apart from Bomber Mad, and that's when she said, no way, I gotta do this.
And I have to start with ponies. Cuando lo logré, dije, no, tengo que hacer con un action figure, y ahí se lo bajó.
When she, once she could make her own Deviant ponies, that's when she realized that she had to delve into the world of action figures. And I think it's safe to say that she has learned a lot about action figures, everything she couldn't have when she was a child. But she's been like, when she has the choice, she's like researching, okay, what action figure can be the base for this? And that's when she...
Y otra cosa importante es que cuando yo era ilustradora siempre hacía comentarios políticos en mi obra y eso me había a veces traído dificultad para que se venda. Y me prometí que no iba a hacerlo con los juguetes, pero al final terminó pasando.
Something else she's saying is that before she would delve into this world, she was very accustomed to make political comments in her paintings, you know, and that sometimes made it difficult for her to sell. So when she started making toys, she promised to herself that she would not include any comments of the sort in this new area. But that didn't work. She found out all the comments all the time. Well, most of the time, not all of her toys, most of them.
The abortion. I think I have 5 toys that make comments about the legal abortion in Argentina or in general.
Right. I have the Simpsons figure that you made. And so
the Abort Simpson, right?
Yeah. Fantastic piece. So what percentage of your customers that are buying stuff from you are in Argentina, and what percentage are, you know, in the rest of the world?
Creo que no entendí la
¿Qué porcentaje de las personas que te compran cosas es de acá y quiénes son de afuera?
Los primeros 2 años, el 70%
would be customers from here, from Argentina.
Y el último año y medio.
And the last year and a half.
70% de afuera.
The way around, 70% from abroad.
Do I need to have him repeat the answer? Is that getting stepped on?
Yeah, we broke up a little bit.
And so is that messing up on the recording too?
Yeah.
Could you answer that again? Just about the 70%,
Yeah, she says that the first 2 years, 70% of the customers would be from here, from Argentina. But the last year and a half, things went the way around. Now 70% of the customers are from abroad.
And did those customers remain? So that means that the business has just increased, where that 70% has now become 20%, and then the rest of the world has gone up? Does that make sense?
Sí. Yes, I understand, but I don't know the answer because
I mean, I guess do you still have customers in Argentina?
El tema es que acá con el último presidente pasó una cosa terrible con el dólar.
Yeah, Argentina has a big issue concerning the dollar, you know, and we go from crisis to crisis, and we are just
como en Grecia,
like in Greece, she says.
It's very similar.
So it sounds similar to the United States too.
Yeah.
We had a president that he loves Trump, Macri, and he made things. Pasaron cosas.
Things happened.
Claro, con la economía y entre tanta cultura del harto y no hay acá.
Yeah, you know, even though there are
poco, pero no tanto como allá.
Even though there are many toy makers here, we still do not have, it's not widespread in the sense that people still don't know very much about this genre. So there has to, work has to be done about it still, I think. Because there's a big market for action figures, but there's still not a big market for resin toy making.
But is it growing? I mean, are people finding out about it, or do you think it's going to always remain a small niche?
Yo, sinceramente, mi opinión es que lo que va pasando es que van creciendo algunas personas y hay muchas personas que tienen ganas de empezar o que te escriben, que quieren aprender, pero que claramente es un tema de que para empezar lo tenés que tener un plata. No cualquiera puede empezar.
She thinks that some of the toy makers that have been doing this for some time keep growing, but there are many who, even though they have started, they have it very difficult, be it because of the price of materials, or because they, you know, it's easy to start, and it's not easy, but
no,
sure. Yeah,
it's even more difficult to continue and even more difficult to finish. I
sure.
mean, to have a finished product.
Sí, y la gente que produce también tiene que poder sostener con, no sé, que a veces yo, por ejemplo, con mi sueldo sostengo lo de los juguetes, no necesariamente me da dinero.
Salary is the right word.
A salary?
Yeah, well, they're not big here. No.
Yeah.
Well, so to keep this going, you need to have a big backup for that.
Claro.
I mean, I think the same happens there. I don't think there might be some people who do just this, but in general, filmmakers do have other professions, so as to say, that they do.
I would say I could count maybe less than 10 artists that I know that do this full time. Everyone has something else that they do to earn a living. But so how is so since we've been doing business, how is the US dollar been? Like when I'm paying you in US dollars, or when you're selling stuff abroad, is that helping that you're getting, does that mean it's more money for you when you're getting money from other countries?
No, el tema de la relación del dólar, si ayuda el tipo de cambio, toda esa historia, digamos. You're getting into some bad... No. I mean, when she started, maybe $1 was equal to 60 much 30. I don't know. It's like it's been doubling. Right now, $1 is equal to 150 pesos, something like that. Mm-hmm. The problem is that to get dollars here, suppose you have them in PayPal, you have to retrieve them. That's a big mess. Claro. Because they're charging you a lot of taxes.
Claro, entonces vos tenés que, por ejemplo, usar el PayPal para viajar, pero para poder ser una persona que se puede dar ese privilegio, tenés que tener un background. Por eso creo que el que pueda hacer esto es como un privilegiado acá. Yo soy una privilegiada.
To sum it up, if you can do this and keep doing it, you are kind of a privileged person. Not in the sense that you have money, but that you maybe you were lucky, that you kept going, that you really believed in it. I don't know. And the force was with you.
Right.
Yes.
But so when the dollar gets stronger, and when you're getting more money for the dollar that you're being paid, is the price of resin and material also going up?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
That's a big problem too.
Yes.
Right.
Everything goes up in the same way, but materials like that go up in the same way that the dollar goes up. Maybe food doesn't go up as much and other kind of things, but
so
materials,
imported good, like locally made stuff stays the same, and imported stuff goes up.
Yes, but also local things that are produced locally do go up as well. Not as much, but they do go up as well.
Got it.
I mean, it affects everything.
So, so you're basically telling me in so many words that you couldn't make a living in Argentina making toys. Like, it doesn't seem possible.
Not yet.
No.
Yeah. But is that like a desire? Is that something you want for the future? I mean,
yes,
do you want to stop teaching? Do you want to just make toys all the time, or do you like doing different things? Do you want to express yourself in other art forms? Do you want to go back to sculpting, or have you found like action figures, like this is what you want to do?
This is the way.
No, sí, a mí me...
to sum it up.
No, sí, por supuesto, me gustaría dedicarme a...
Yeah, she says that she would definitely love to just do this. I don't think she would give up teaching though.
No, I can teach in toy making.
Right. You can influence the next generation.
Claro. Wait a minute.
She's gonna get something. I don't know what it is. Oh, okay, yeah.
This year of quarantine, I made with my students.
Oh wow! Look at that. How old are the students?
I made tutorials on YouTube.
Yeah, she maybe you've seen them. She did some videos where she's teaching little ones, kids, how to make their own toys, not with resin, of course, without the material. Right. And these are examples of those videos.
Could you show them again and just hold them in front of the camera? Look at that. And then how old are the kids that made those?
No.
These ones are the ones she made to give an example.
I was going to say, like, whoa, that's really crazy for a kid.
On my feed, you can watch los que hicieron los chicos.
Yeah, there are examples of toys made by...
On my feed, sometimes
I missed that. Say that one more time.
The kid actually did an Incredible Hulk.
Incredible Hulk.
She did upload these examples in her feed, but that was some time ago, I believe.
So
you
let's
can watch.
So let's talk about this guy. How did the idea for this come about?
Yes. Oh, thank you.
This is the piece that you made for New York Comic Con last month. It was an edition of 20. I think they're more than half sold out. If anybody's watching and wants to go grab one in the store. But can you talk about the inspiration for this?
Okay. Bueno, my inspiration was the last toys, the last drawing I made before start to make toys. O sea, los últimos dibujos que hice.
The last pieces of art she did before getting into the resin toys had a pulp.
Sí, muy parecido al traditional tattoo.
Yeah, very much similar to traditional tattoos.
Yo siempre había dibujado en un estilo, pero todo el último tiempo había.
She
traigo algo.
She has been drawing in a particular style for many years, but the last few pieces of art that she would make before delving into this were very much inspired in traditional tattoo and Roman style, things like that. She's actually going to show some of those, I think.
My drawing.
Look at that. Wow. Very cool.
So it's not the same, the art card, the art card of the toy, but this is, you asked about inspiration. This was my inspiration.
It's a very sort of like traditional, tattoo style.
Yeah, my style, but influenciado por el traditional tattoo. Estoy mirando a ver si hay alguno más.
She's looking out for other examples.
Very cool.
I love this style. So this was an inspiration. And then I think the characters, Han Solo, a bounty hunter, because estos tatuajes, originalmente se usaban los marineros.
Yeah, this is what she thought, that originally these tattoos would be hand in a way of a sailor of some right? So that's how she started to think of this.
Esos personajes. Y creo que otra cosa que terminó influenciando un montón el juguete, que como que no se ha pensado, es como lo pin-up, que es algo que a mí siempre me gusta.
Another genre that she was also inspired by is the pin-up in general.
O que terminó pasando en la hechura.
Because you have the romance between Han and Leia, and that's how everything.
Very cool. Let's talk about this other one here. Hold on one second. Sorry, I'm not as prepared as I should be. And this one was edition of 10, and I think there's only 2 left. Is that right? Almost sold out.
Whoa. Nice.
Look at that. So this was for the Back to the Future show. So can you talk about this one?
Okay. So when I love the movie, and I love Back to the Future 1 and 2. No, I love 3 also. I love the movies. Watching the movie again and again. because my parents has like a Blockbuster, sería.
Her parents had a video club in the 80s.
Say that again.
They had a club, like what?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Blockbuster, you know.
Interesante hablando de la economía argentina.
When you say,
she's saying that her parents, I mean, her dad was a doctor, and her mother an architect. Even though, in spite of that, they had a video club. I mean,
when you say a video club, like a store where you'd get cassettes.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
A
rental place. Got it.
Bueno.
Yeah.
So I watch the movie all the time, and I love George, I love Lorraine, and I love this scene when Marty appears with the yellow, I don't know.
The outfit, the costume.
Yeah. And cuando le comenté la idea, yo imaginaba que ya a alguien se le había ocurrido. O sea, me parece.
When she told you about her idea, she thought that
I was sure
that someone else might have been doing something. I mean, but you see that it's something people do.
The concept.
Yeah, there are many who have done tell us about this scene in particular.
Claro, but sure. I thought someone else, I had the idea also, but with the action figure.
With Darth
Vader, right. So when you were a kid, did you get to just rent or borrow as many video cassettes as you wanted to watch movies?
Sí, tenías acceso ilimitado cuando eras chico a alquilar películas por este tema.
Y sí, Ghostbusters.
So do you think that you, more than other children, that your affinity for pop culture and these characters has something to do with the access that you had to these movies as a kid?
Maybe.
Because I saw your eyes light up, like when I mentioned the Back to the Future. You're like, I love this. I love George and Lorraine. And it's just your eyes are like.
Yeah.
I think there might have been many years, personal opinion, where she was disconnected from this. And I think it was recent making, which allowed her to go back to all of that, back to the future. And yeah.
Back to the past.
Back to the past. And it's like you're saying, this was all like deep inside, I think. That's what I think. And now it's all coming out.
I have many boxes of this video club.
VHS boxes.
VHS, I don't remember, but around 30 or 20 something. And I keep them because I said, I'm going to make something and some resin toy, and then I'm going to put on them because I'm using the vintage logo of the video club. The name was Cinechita. Cinechita.
That was a real film studio which was located in Italy.
No sé si se entendió, pero se entendió.
What you're saying that she still keeps many of those VHS, original VHS boxes and the VHS themselves too, some of them.
Y que estoy planeando siempre.
And that she's always thinking that someday she might do a resin toy
con un crossover con el logo original de Video Club.
Might be enclosed inside some of those boxes and even using the original logo from her parents' Video Club.
Interesting. Well,
very nostalgic. And with Back to the Future, I thought that maybe it was the opportunity, but I didn't have enough time to make something algo tan grande.
Something so big.
Yeah. Something
well,
and la aduana y las cajas.
Yeah, and everything else about customs and the fear that it's not going to get there.
Sure. Well, if you can make something that fits in the box, we can always buy the boxes here and then assemble it, right? Because they have those the VHS clamshells. There's two kinds. Sometimes there's the box, a cardboard box that's printed, and the tape goes inside, and then there's the other plastic box that opens up that has a piece of paper that you put inside.
Yeah.
I
think the one you have. The one.
Yes, I have the exactly same con eso. But my boxes have the mystic. Because are the
of course. Yeah, we don't want to mess with that.
Separately.
Indeed. All right. Well, it's about that time. I want to thank you so much for taking the time and talking with us. It's been really wonderful. We hope to talk to you soon. Congratulations on the toys. They're selling very well. And we'll be in touch soon. All right.
Of course, be with you.